once more onto the breach, dear friends. Moscow Zoo entrance, which has been the beginning of quite a number of my films, but today I'm not going to the zoo. Today it's quite a different matter. It's my final day in Moscow, my final working day. I just went to a client meeting to hand over that particular client to the new head of department, and that was a nice meeting. Oh, Jabba. It's a love affair, Jabba. So from here my next meeting is at Belaruskaya metro, and so the quickest route to there is to go up this Bolshaya Gruzinskaya, big Georgian street. Of course, these windows in the zoo's walls means I might catch a glimpse of some Guantanameras. That's a Guantanamera, Guajira Guantanamera, so called for their propensity to walk around in orange jumpsuits. Yeah, there's a nice neon sign of Chaikona number 1. That's a nice restaurant, not the cheapest, but I think it is tasty in there. We're about to go under the bridge, which a little bit like in Berlin, Zoo, Tiergarten, or in London, the zoo is in 2 bits. That's not unusual for city zoos to be in 2 bits, where some extra land was gifted or bought afterwards, and then you've got a bridge going across. In Berlin's case, and in London's case, it goes over a canal. In the case of Prague Zoo, there's also one that goes over a road, and here there's also one that goes over a road. So it's not unusual in a zoo to have this situation where the zoo's on 2 parts. Warsaw has in theory got a second part of the zoo, which is on another territory, but there isn't a bridge going to it, and there's no animals there. So it's a theoretical second part of the zoo, which never actually became part of the zoo. I suppose that there was other things to invest in. Maybe it will be in the future, and then they'll have a bridge like that in Warsaw as well. And the sculptures of animals, that's not a real one. That's not a real lynx climbing on the thing, hopefully. And of course there's so much renovations going on. I think they are going to invest a lot in, from what I was hearing from my colleague actually, who was talking about the zoo, going to the client. They're going to invest in a lot of new animals. Right now in the winter, as we saw a few weeks ago, you can walk around this zoo in the cold, not see that many animals. And it's not just because they're hiding, it's because a lot of them are not there at the moment. They've gone to other zoos for the time of the refurbishment and renovation, and then we can expect Moscow Zoo to be back up with the lads sometime in the future after that, hopefully. So what I'm doing now, I suppose, with this film is just saying, in a sense, rounding off. There will be the dash cam, a bit of dash camming on the way back. I'm probably going to save most of that for the Lithuania and Latvia, because there's so little of those countries on my channel, so I'm going to mainly use the way back to do some Latvia and Lithuania for you, and that will be this time during the day rather than during the night, as it was coming here. So you'll see a bit more of those 2 countries. I want to do that, so I'm not going to do much going out of Russia. I did some of that on the way here, and I think that gives you an impression of what the road looks like. I don't need to repeat it. You just got an idea of what people drive like here, but very aggressive driving, unsafe really. Given the way that people drive, you might expect more accidents than there are, but you always know when there has been an accident, because you're supposed to stop stock still and wait for the police to arrive. That's if you intend, if either of the sides intends to make like an insurance claim or any kind of claim on the other. If it's just a tiny knock, then they're not going to claim off each other. Then they can decide to just drive on if nobody was hurt and the damage to material possessions was minimal. But it's a risk, because if one of them drives off and the other one doesn't, and the other one says, look, he hit me and then he drove off, well then that other person's in serious trouble then. That's not entirely unlike the way things go in the UK. Even in the UK, this happened to my mother. You can have somebody that says, oh, it's okay, no worries, just let's drive off, and then they don't drive off.